think one thing which was missed in the introduction was that recently got married, and my wife is a Malayali, and I'm so excited to give a TEDx in her hometown. So thank you, Noel's coaching. My in-laws are going to be very impressed with this. so, uh, so before I start, I just want to get a quick sense. How many people under the age of 23 can you raise your hands? Okay. Okay. Thank God, because my speech is for you guys. And the information I'm going to share with you can be very helpful in determining your career path. So please pay attention. And I'll keep asking these questions. Okay? So, awesome. Let me start. Do you guys know them? If yes, raise your hands. Okay. Okay, few people, I see few hands. So this is Adit and Kevalya. They are co-founders of Zepto. Zepto is in the quick commerce space. They're competitors to Zomato, Blinkit, and Swiggy's Instamart. They recently crossed 5,000 crores of revenue, billion-dollar company. They have 6,500 employees, and they started their company when they were under the age of 23. When they were 19, they started Zepto. And right now, they are 21, 22. I feel extremely jealous of them. But my question to you guys is, how many of you would like to have your own business, your own corporation, your own startup? If yes, are you interested in that? Just raise your hands. Okay, few hands at the back. Awesome. So the autonomy you get running your own company, no bosses, creating impact, maybe even becoming millionaires, billionaires like them. So it is pretty exciting. It is powerful, the, the pursuit of entrepreneurship. But then the next question comes, how many of you think it is easy to start a business? How many of you think it is easy to start a business? Please don't raise your hands. My God, it's not. Because even if you come up with an idea, you need resources to convert that idea into a product. Then you have to get customers to like your product. And Indian customers don't want to pay for your product, so you have to get them to pay for your product. Then you have to manage a team, you have to manage co-founders, shareholders, your parents. You will be earning much less than any of your batchmates for the longest time. For every one Zepto, there are like thousands of startups which do not work out. So how many of you still want to run a business? I do. I personally want. I started my entrepreneurship journey when I was 19 years old, and I can tell you it's extremely worth it. Because I feel like all these uncertainties, all these difficulties, things outside your comfort zone you're dealing with, it makes you a better version of yourself. I think it has the steepest learning curve. Uh, and today, my job is to give you some sort of a playbook to make this extremely steep journey, extremely hard journey, less hard. How can it be slightly easier for you to start a company? And I call the playbook Sparkle. I use ChatGPT to come up with this acronym. But it really does sort of encompasses the core values which I want to convey. Okay? So I hope you guys are with me. We'll start with the S of Sparkle, which is search for big problems. Okay? I also feel the best part about this age group, 19 to 23, in college, people are not expecting you to make money. It's a very safe bubble to experiment. Uh, if you take our journey, the problem we stumbled upon was resolving disputes in India is a massive pain point. There are some 5 crore cases pending. There are 50 crore cases which are not even filed. People like my parents will never file cases because it's not worth the time, money, and energy to go to a court. They say it will take us 464 years to clear the backlog of cases. So this is a big problem, very common problem we stumbled upon, and we started working on that. The idea is you need to fall in love with the problem, not your solution. So every day you wake up, I wake up, and I'm like, I'm still working on this exciting problem. It's worth it. So search for big problems, okay? And they're around you. You just have to observe, and you can come across it. Let's move to the next point. Pose questions. Ask a lot of questions. You search for big problems, then you pose questions. Questions lead to breakthroughs. One question that changed my life was this. This is me, 18 years old, 10 years ago, in our law school, with the Supreme Court Justice. And he had come to our college, and he was giving this speech on access to justice, etc. So after he was done, my question to him was, if you have such a huge backlog of cases, why do you judges, why do you guys have summer vacations? Why do you have winter vacations? Why do you have Durga Puja break? And I thought it was a very relevant question to ask in front of my batchmates. It's feeling extremely cool, and it took courage. But he looked at me and he smiled at me. He smiled at my ignorance. And he told me about a life of a judge in India. They don't have a life. We need one judge for every 10 lakh people. We have one judge for every 50 lakhs people. They are tremendously understaffed. Saturday, Sunday, they are writing judgments. Vacation benches are there. He himself, when he was in Calcutta High Court, used to handle 150 matters in 6 hours, which is almost 5 to 6 minutes per matter. So he started scolding me fully. And I got scared. And I was like, okay, sir, how can we help the courts? And he said, Pranjal, don't come to court. Don't come to court. Do out-of-court settlement and leverage on technology. Out-of-court settlement, leverage on technology. The concept is called ODR, and that's what we started working on in the year 2015-16. So pose questions. Questions are helpful, and no question is a dumb question. So you have covered search for big problems. Then you pose questions. Let's move on. So ask for mentors. I feel again, this is like basic principles, but I have to reemphasize it's extremely helpful. A mentor can help you. What can take you maybe 2 years, 3 years, a mentor can expedite that journey, condense those learnings and give it to you faster. I was very fortunate. He's no more alive, late Justice Pratik Prakash Banerjee, one of the youngest High Court judges in Calcutta. And he sort of took me under his tutelage and it was very helpful. After law school, we used to go to his chambers and full night we used to sit and work. And he was like, ODR is a very foreign concept, Pranjal. How will you apply it in Calcutta? How will you apply it in Indian context? And I think he really refined our idea. It was very helpful. I think one good way to get mentors is, again, you have to ask. You have to drop those appreciation emails to people you look up to. For every 10 appreciation emails you drop, 2 people will reply, schedule a meeting, reach out to them. I've realized people want to help. I think everyone wants to help. You just need to ask them. So get a mentor. The earlier we get a mentor, the more helpful it is. So yeah, so we have covered search for big problems. Then we pose questions. Then we ask for mentorship. Okay, moving on. Resourcefulness matters more than resources. It's one of my favorite quotes, lines. As law students, we don't have resources. Like, we are staying in a boys' hostel, we are triple sharing a room. What change can you bring at a society level? But I have realized that it is really not about resources. It's about what can you do with whatever you have. So we stumbled upon a very interesting problem. Okay, so we launched this idea in 2015-16, ODR platform, big justice problem. We thought our ODR platform will solve this problem. And these are the number of cases we got in the first 3 years. One case. We got one case in 3 years. That too, my brother filed this case. And we were not able to understand what is going wrong. We are working on this, we have built this technology. But again, the answer was intuitive. 54% of the people don't even know that there is something called out-of-court settlement, ADR, arbitration, mediation. My mother thought mediation is meditation for a long time. She thought her son is entering spirituality. She was worried about that. But, so awareness was not there. Awareness was not there, resources were also not there. So what we did, 3, 4 of us, we started going on the streets. That's my wife, by the way. Don't say she's singing. So we started doing everything. We are singing, we are dancing, we are distributing mediation pamphlets. Basically, we have divided Calcutta into 10, 12 districts. And we thought we'll only create awareness. Okay? Nothing. This was just hustling. Imagine we went to court, Calcutta District Court, in the lunchtime. We are doing this street play. And when we are ending the street play, slowly we are seeing the lawyers are getting very close. And then we end and the lawyers are like, how dare you come to our court and tell our clients not to come to court? How dare you attack our bread and butter? And while they are like forming this circle around us, one volunteer is distributing pamphlets. We got 9 check bounce cases that day. So it was all kinds of hustle which was happening, and so that was, and it started as like 4, 5 volunteers in college, like how, volunteers have organized this TEDx talk. Similarly, we also did this, and then gradually it picked up. Almost, I think in the 2 years, we crossed 1,000 volunteers in some 20 law schools, and everyone was doing mediation awareness drives in their respective cities. So yeah, this is us on the street light, red light, just, and this is Honorable Justice Supreme Court Madan Lokar. We came up with a beautiful tagline. It's called Suljhao Magar Pyar Se. It translates to resolve with compassion. And we really promoted that, tackling the awareness issue. So yeah, where are we? We did search for big problems, pose questions, ask for mentors, resourcefulness. Okay, awesome, thank you. Yeah, I feel it is helpful for entrepreneurs and generally human beings having like a spiritual anchor. For me, it has been very helpful. I'm just going to talk about my personal journey with respect to doing Vipassana, ardent follower Brahmakumaris. I think how it helps is that in this kind of a journey, there are a lot of external factors which are not in your control. Stuff happens, but we can choose our response to that situation. No matter what happens outside, my response to that situation is in my control, and I feel spirituality really teaches that. So having a spiritual anchor, especially early, because the resistance is slightly less, personally, I feel it has been very, very beneficial. Moving on. Yeah. Learning every day. I think this is, again, a very important task when you want to start early, when you want to build. It is critical that because the skills which will be required from you are not just going to be legal skills. In the last 1 year, I have to do a course on product management. I had to do a course on GST, how GST will impact business. And it's very helpful because you learn all kinds of things. But I think that you need to have that constant learning mindset. Read a lot of non-fiction books, especially about other businesses, other companies who have made it, other companies which you like, and you will see they've also gone through a similar journey. So this is again another very critical aspect. So we search for big problems, we pose questions, we ask for mentorship, we are very resourceful. We learn every day. And what was before this? Wow, you're listening. Thank you. So yeah, and now we come to the last one, right? Endurance persists. And I feel like, so for 3 years, we had my brother as my customer to reaching, but now things have changed, guys. Now we work with 50 plus large corporates. Some of them are your sponsors also. We work with government departments. We are in panel with the Kerala High Court as a mediation service provider. We do work with securities market, police stations, large banks, etc. We have crossed 2 crore cases and we have settled 35 lakh cases. And what helped was endurance. What helps was persisting. It still started. I feel we have barely scratched the surface. There's so much to do, but it's been quite a journey. I feel like if out of all these 7 things, if I can leave you one thing, it will be just persist. Don't give up on the idea. If you have, just keep going on. 1 customer, 2 customers, family members, friends, slowly, you can spread it. We recently came on Shark Tank. I like to show that off. And, and we got offers from all the investors because I feel they saw that this is a very real problem and a solution is needed for that. So this is what Sparkle is. It's a 7-point playbook. In college, guys, there's a lot of distractions. Don't get distracted. Because I really feel the earlier you start, the better it is. I feel like if I would have started my summer journey when I was 25, 26, it would have been much harder. That 3-4 years of just experimenting in college, safety bubble, really helped. So yeah, start early and watch your journey sparkle. Thank you.